been a long journey and one that, you know, I'm still looking forward to. I think I've kept my pace and that enables me to get to contests.
Tackle from Dustin Fletcher.
I'm still enjoying my footy. I feel like I'm still, you know, doing my bit for the team. So, you know, there's no reason to sort of give it up yet.
He has saved Essendon so many times. Inspector Gadget.
He's got the longest legs I've ever seen with broken arms. I think he's the fullback of the last 10 years.
He's got the top. He's got plenty of carry. It's going. It's going. It's gone.
You know, a lot of the times you're one out against these, I suppose, champions of the game, and it was tough. And I suppose playing on those guys, you know, when I was quite young, you sort of didn't think about it as much.
Fletcher, careful, boys.
Fletcher, good mark.
I think Simon enjoys having that record, so there's been quite a few people, you know, come up to me and say, can you try and knock his record off? So, you know, we'll see if I can try and chase him down.
Any way you care to measure, this is one of the all-time greats of not only the Essendon Football Club but the AFL/VFL, set to play game number 379 tomorrow night against the North Melbourne Football Club, and in doing so breaking Simon Madden's all-time game record at the Bombers. He doesn't appear often. We can't wait to chat to Dustin Fletcher.
Put that over your knees if you get a bit, get a bit chilly, mate. I'll put it over my knees anyhow. It's fantastic to have him, isn't it?
Hey?
Fantastic to have him.
It is one of the great records of all time, Dusty. And how do you feel about it? We don't, as Jim said, we don't hear from you much, we don't see you much. You've kept an unbelievably low profile given you've been in the game for 20-odd years. How are you feeling on the eve of this unbelievable milestone?
Oh, probably, to be honest, just like any other game, it's the first game of the year, and we, you know, our form, the first 2 or 3 games haven't been the best. So, yeah, just like any other game, a bit nervous, and Friday night game, so it's going to be a big one. So, looking forward to it.
Hey, the low profile must be by choice, because when you're as good a player as you've been, there would have been interview requests every week. You don't do many, so you obviously don't like it.
Oh, not that I don't like it. It's just, you know, I've got other things on, and
What have you got on?
Oh, I'm just, you know, busy, Bill. I've got a couple of kids I've got to look after, and a few things like that.
They're 33, your kids.
Speaking of the kids, actually, very nice that you brought the kids in tonight. They're over here on a table. There Mavis and Ethel and Doris.
Very good.
Bill,
There's all your kids.
come on, Willis.
Hey, what do you look at, Bill?
That's Mary and Rose and Emma. I used to go to the Palais to dance with those. We used to do the Continental back in the 50s. Yeah, you're right.
Lovely to see them. Hey, Dustin, I want to ask you about footy when you started. It's changed the whole way the game's play's evolved.
Yes.
Your frame has stayed pretty much the same over the journey. Now, when we all played, all these boys, and not so much you, Jim, but when we played, we were forced to get into the weight room. It was all at one stage about getting big, but you've maintained a really lean frame. So how'd you do that?
Oh, well, I probably should have been in the weight room a bit more, but, you know, I wasn't the hardest trainer when I first got down there, but I did start at, I think, about 79 kilos, and believe it or not, I got up to about 102.
Did you? Oh.
So, and I'm back down to, I played about 91, 92 now, so it... And the game has changed, and you know it's an endurance game now. You've got to be able to run some big distances. So that's where I try and keep the weight at.
Now, I played with your dear old dad, so he was about the same build because it's in the genes. Now, but I want to ask you this, following on from what Gary said. 20 years you've been doing it, mate. I think I noticed the way it's changed in 20 years. Have you noticed it has changed a hell of a lot, or because you play every year, it just sneaks up on you and you just roll with it? Or have you noticed the absolute change in the way the game's played?
To be honest, I think you've just got to roll with the changes. Like, I know when the pre-season starts and you play your first couple of games, you get an indication on how the game's being played. And, you know, as I said, I've been lucky enough to keep my pace. I think I can still get to contests and, you know, I can still obviously kick. I'm, you know, not too bad at kick. So, I think you've got to be able to kick the footy these days, and you've obviously got to be able to run long distances.
Fletch, just on your dad, I know my mum and dad like coming to watch most of my games, but I've played about half as many as you. How many have Mr. and Mrs. Fletcher been to out of 378, and are they sick of going to the footy?
No, they have been to quite a few. They go, they buy their membership, or they get whatever Dad's got life member, and they go every week. So they still enjoy it, and they've probably been to interstate. They probably don't go as much, but they still enjoy it, and they have a good time going to watch.
Well, we can tell you, Dusty, 360, we're told, of the 378 games that your mum and dad have been to.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. That is unbelievable. Well done to Mr. and Mrs. Fletcher. And you would have, it's unbelievable because we played against this man, Gary, you and I. And I retired 17 years ago and he's still going. And how did you go against us two, do you reckon, there, Fletch?
Oh, actually, Bill wasn't too bad at kick, but he was a bit slow. He took a while to get there.
You're talking to me.
A very good player, and obviously Gaz, he was around when obviously Alan Jakovic was one that did kick.
You're saying you went to the more dangerous sports?
He kicked a few on me, but Gaz was
We've got some vision. Let's have a look at it here. I found some vision here. Look at Gazza. Here he goes. Just sneaks out the back.
Judgment, Bill. It's about judgment.
Oh, look at this. Just sneaks out the back here. You watch this one for this one. Oh, Fletch just goes bang, gets it away. Come on, Gary.
I thought there was only going to be one highlight here.
Oh, yeah. Didn't do too much.
No, not much at all.
And you, Bill?
Well, I found some more vision. And it's when we played on each other, Fletch. So let's have a look at the video. Look at that. Ruck work. Straight down. Oh, on the left. You must be turning inside out. I've never seen that.
Hey, Bill, how many did you kick on the great man that day?
I got 5 on Fletch.
What, you got more than 5 for the game?
Finished with 9.
Bill, how many did you finish with?
9.
Dustin, we went back to champion data. The highest Bill ever kicked against Essendon was 8, and it was before you started in 1992. So you are a bull artist.
Well, yeah, but great memories, aren't they, Dust?
Hey, Dustin, I want to ask you, we saw the vision at the start. You played on some of the most intimidating footballers the game's ever seen.
We just saw that.
Talking about Jason Dunstall, talking about Gary Ablett Sr., talking about Wayne Carey, but mainly Tony Lockett. You were still at Penley Grammar and you had to play on that unbelievable footballer.
Yeah, it was tough, and I say to everyone, my first year, to be honest, was on some great forwards, and there'd be games I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goals kicked on me, and you just had to sometimes you copped it, because out at Waverley with Jason Dunstall it was just me and pretty much him in the whole 50, and you got Darren Jarman and a few of them putting them down his throat. It's pretty tough, but I suppose I learnt my lesson early that you just got to probably not take yourself too seriously, to be honest, because if I had have done that, I wouldn't have been playing this long.
Brent?
Yeah, Fletch, I was just reading a stat here. 36 players on your list hadn't started primary school when you played your first game. So I was just interested, I'm a big believer in the social activities, so just wondering what you do with the young guys. Do you go for, the boys are into the lattes now, or do you go for a beer, or you play cards, or bingo?
I'm a little bit old school. Obviously, the tunnel, as we all know, the tunnel shut down some time ago. So that's well and truly well and dusted. But I'm quite happy for a beer at home, and the young boys still get out. Obviously when they can. But every time there's a club function or something that every now and then I'll sneak out with them and get a few into me.
Is there a generation gap, Fletch? I think that's where we're getting at. I mean, there's a photo here of a young Dyson Heppel back in his...
Look at that.
I guess he rocked up at a junior footy clinic somewhere along the way, and now you run out with him on a weekend. Do you struggle to relate to these guys or not?
Yeah, at times you do. Like I said to someone just the other day, there's times when you just sort of go and you lock him and you just sit there because, some of the stories you hear... you can't relate to, or you're a little bit old, and even the music they follow, and it is a little bit different. But we've got some good mature guys there that I can speak to.
Now, Dustin, if anyone needed supplements,
Oh, now, Fletch.
could I suggest It would be your good self. What have you jammed into yourself over the years,
Oh,
mate?
Come on.
What do you have most trouble with, the hammies or the back or the knees or
I'm not
just getting out of bed? What?
What is not? I haven't got, my legs aren't that big, so I've never really done a hammy or a calf. I've had a few knee and ankle issues, but nothing that worries me too much. So maybe in 4 or 5 years I might be. I might knock up.
Dust, let's have a look who you're going to be up against on Friday night. It is a massive game. The Kangaroos take on the Essendon Footy Show. Big year for North Melbourne, Jimmy Boy. Finished 10th on the ladder, 12 losses. You've got one new player here, and it is a famous North Melbourne name. Luke McDonald, the son of Donald McDonald, makes his debut, and the North Melbourne people very excited about this young boy. Lockie Hansen plays game number 100. That is a good-looking North side, and here's the Bombers. Finished 9th on the ladder. Of course, missed out in the finals. Patrick Ambrose, Martin Gleeson and Zach Merritt, who we had on the Footy Show last week or a couple of weeks ago, all make their debut for the Essendon team. The milestone for Paddy Ryder, 150 games. He ain't getting a look in, I'm telling you. And Jake Carlisle plays game number 50. So it is a very big game, boys. The Kangaroos have got high expectations.
Yeah, massive game. Probably the game of the round, Gaz, I think. And real toss of the coin. I read here that North Melbourne haven't won the first game of the year since 2010, so I know they'd be pretty keen to rectify that, and I think they just might. Sorry, Fletch, spoil the party.
Yeah, I reckon North Melbourne get off to a good start, but I reckon Essendon might overrun them. In Fletcher's big 379th game, hopefully they can get up for him.
Yeah, I'm with Bully here. I think North will win this game, beat Essendon. And good luck to Bomber Thompson. How you found him, all right?
No, he's been good, Bomber. Yeah. He's been. I've copped a few sprays, but yeah, Bomber's he's fantastic. Yeah. His enthusiasm and the way he goes about it's been great.
What about Kevin over all those years? Did you understand anything she'd said to you at any stage?
To be honest, not as much as some people, but again, like he mellowed as he got a little bit older. But yeah, no, he's been great for me. He put me in my first game and coached me for 15 years.
Of course, the certainty card's in play.
I
Bill,
was just going to say.
No, I'll wait. Thank you, Gary.
You correctly
pick with absolute careful intent.
Your
Gary.
thoughts here, Force?
Well, it would be just history that Essendon tragically had a bad end to last year, and it'll be very interesting to see how they've recovered.
Who are you tipping?
Yeah, no, it's a very good question. I would like to tip Essendon just to start with.
Well, just get off the fence.
To start with, I'm tipping Essendon just to start with. And if they get a flogging, that might be it for the year.
Hey, Gary, very quickly, I want to congratulate Scott and Lauren Thompson, who tonight greeted the beautiful young Genevieve into the world. I understand the little baby girl and mum are both well, so it's a scooter. Well done.
Fantastic news. Dusty, before we let you go, mate, we've got a couple of young boys who they tell me go all right. Mason's in year 8 and Max is in year 6. So you get along and watch them play?
Yeah, they go all right. They a little bit like me. The old one's he's going to be quite tall, I think, and the younger one shows a bit of run. So whatever they want to do, I'm sort of happy. If it's footy, it's footy. If it's something else, you go with it.
And you've got a signing session coming up, I understand?
Yeah, it was at the True Value Solar Centre just after recovery on Saturday from 11 till 12. So, we might get a few supporters down there.
I'm sure you will, and I think all the Essendon supporters will turn out tomorrow night at Etihad Stadium to watch this great man break the record. It is a great privilege and honour to have him in here tonight, and Dusty, we wish you all the best in the big game against the Kangaroos. Thanks for coming in. Dustin Fletcher joining us. We're going to take a break. Sam's mailbag up next.